Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. As always, it is Nick here, back with your daily crypto news and analysis. And today we're going to be talking about one of the most incredible opportunities that we have right now. So let's just dive in and let's talk about a few things. I am recording this, and at the time of recording this, the market looks pretty rough. And I do think that we will see a little bit more pain before we do see a nice, strong reversal. And I'm actually going to be addressing this. I'm actually going to be talking about it. But we do have some great opportunities right now in front of us. When we talk about like altcoins, for an example, there is a few bouncing back, as you guys do see, but then there's also a few that are significantly still down. Now, on the 24-hour span, the ones that are in green, there's a few of them, as you guys do see, like Axie Infinity, KDA, etc. Some of these are great opportunities, but I would not be chasing green just yet. Like, for an example, like Solana is up 12.43%. I'm actually going to be outlining in this video a few altcoins and their buy targets that I have personally, been waiting for to be targeted. But I also want to talk to you guys about this market right now. So let's actually dive in to a few things that I have been really kind of watching for within this market. So first off, I share with you guys this tweet that I just recently tweeted out. It's currently at 3:44 a.m. It's currently about 4 a.m. as I am recording this. But we do see here, to all of you still a part of this market below a $1 trillion market cap, I just want to say you all deserve to celebrate when we go to $5 trillion plus in market cap. It wasn't luck. This is not easy for the average person to endure. This takes focus, dedication, and self-discipline. You got this. And the reason why I said this is because when we look at this market right now, we are sitting at roughly a $950 billion market cap almost for all of crypto. Every single crypto asset combined, $950 billion. It's ridiculous. We've been seeing use case after use case targeting trillion after trillion, and we are sitting at less than $1 trillion in market cap. Insane to me. Now, of course, I really kind of look at the fundamentals around this market, but I also look at, where things were just recently, going back, over 2 years ago. We go back to March of 2020, and the reason why I bring this time frame up is because when you look at things like even Bitcoin, or I could just grab a random altcoin, we'll say ADA for an example, right? And we zoom out, we go to the all-time chart, and we go back to March of 2020. And here you guys have March of 2020. So again, I really kind of share with you guys a few things. So let me actually kind of zoom out just slightly a little bit and go back to this time. So here you have ADA back in March of 2020. The lowest point that we hit was almost 2.5 cents. Now, when you zoom out, you can't even see the dip back in March of 2020 because of the massive price action that we did see. This did over a 100x move from that time frame to the all-time high in September of 2021. So a little over 1 year later, it did a 100x opportunity move. And obviously, yes, now we are recorrecting. The reason why I bring this up is because we look back on time to March 10th alone. Dow drops 1,400 points and tumbles into a bear market, down 20% from last month's record close. This was quickly followed up with a few other articles posted by some major, news outlets like Forbes. Bear market, Dow drops over 1,400 points, ending longest bull run in U.S. history. March 11th, 2020, a day later. Followed quickly up by March 11th from Yahoo Finance. Stock market news live. Dow drops 1,400 points, ending in bear market. Bear market, bear market, bear market. Recession, this, that. Again, I share with you guys the opportunity ahead. I know that the fear levels right now are drastically high. Nobody wants to buy because we think that we're going much, much lower. And yes, we could go slightly lower. And I already outlined this in my last 2 videos from today. But I want you guys to understand that I have been averaging in, and I've been telling you guys that I have been averaging into positions simply because of this. We go back to just now. Okay, 8 hours ago, Skybridge founder advises how to survive crypto bear market. We are in a bloodbath. Again, a lot of this talk is, pretty crazy, but we do see here I'm encouraged by the fact that Bitcoin is above 50% of the overall crypto market cap right now, which is another sign that there is a flight to quality there. Of course, this is just kind of shilling Bitcoin, if you will. But it is interesting that we are in a bloodbath, he said. This is my 8th bear market. I expect to survive this one as well. Interesting. Now, of course, this was quickly followed up by this from Bloomberg. The bear market has finally arrived. Here's how to move on and act now. We've technically been in a bear market for a while. If you actually look at crypto topping in November, for an example, here you guys have it. I can show you guys that real quick on this all-time chart. So here we have the topping point in November of 2021, basically November 7th to be specific. And here we are basically now on, June 14th at 22.8K after coming down to 20.9K. Now, in my opinion, we will most likely come down lower. I'm actually looking at a few levels, like roughly around like the 18 to like 17K area to possibly like 16.5. That's the area that I'm really kind of looking at for our major test. That will basically be the March of 2020 test of the 300 weekly moving average. That is what I'm watching closely right now as we do continue to see fear build up around stocks and crypto. We do see our bear market sends grim signal of economic fears, June 13th from the New York Times. Followed quickly up by another article from the New York Times. S&P 500 falls into a bear market. Again, when media outpost or outlets, I should say, and market sentiment is extremely bearish, I want you guys to understand that it presents you with an incredible opportunity ahead. And I know what people are going to say in the comments. What about the macro viewpoints? The macro is extremely bearish. We're going into a recession. We're going to see a massive crash. I want you guys to understand that everything will seem extremely bad at the bottom. Again, during March of 2020, and when we zoom out, here you guys have March of 2020, everything looked very, very grim here. It looked like everything was going to collapse. We didn't know exactly what was happening. People were, at this time, like COVID was really, really, rough. I mean, everybody really kind of thought that it was like the end of the world. We were going into lockdowns. We're going to see a collapse of the economy. Everything is not going to go back to normal at all. It's the end of the world, essentially. And that was the bottom, right? First month of COVID was the bottom, and everybody thought it was going to continue to get, worse. We had some slight jumps, and everybody thought this is just a fake out rally. It's not going to do anything, blah, blah, blah. We're going much lower. Everybody was calling for $3,000 on Bitcoin. It never happened. Everybody's calling for $10,000 right now on Bitcoin. I doubt it does happen. Again, here we have yet another article. This is from USA Today. Crypto tanks. S&P 500 closes at bear market level. Again, this was just posted yesterday. I want you guys to understand that the news outlets are extremely bearish right now, and they'll most likely get a little bit more bearish going forward. As we really kind of look at this and we, kind of pay attention to things happening specifically around this market, I'm not going to be shaken out by things like this. In fact, I look at this as a massive opportunity. Now, I did say, yes, we could go lower, and yes, this is recorded ahead of time, so price action might ensue quicker than, I expect, but I'm actually expecting the next 2 days to be pretty rough. I'm expecting this low down here to be tested at roughly the 16.6K zone. That is the 300 moving average on the weekly. Now, this is actually pretty funny because this is the November 2020 candle low just before we ran to the all-time high in April of 2021. And a few of the levels that I'm actually looking for us to outreach to are just between the 1272 and the 1414, between 150K to 226K. I want you guys to understand, I know what people are about to say in the comments. No way are we going to that, level. You're crazy, blah, blah, blah. I want you guys to understand that this is going to be on a macro view, and it will most likely happen within the 2023 to 2024 timeframe within this level. So most likely around like the June timeframe that I'm looking at to really kind of see this targeted. And I will actually leave this here around the June timeframe, and we will revisit this in time. I'm actually going to look at it. But yes, I do believe that we could come down a little bit lower. Again, a lot of people will continue to say that we are going to go much, much lower than this. I think that once we kind of break the previous all-time high, which we've never done in Bitcoin history, I think that we're going to see a lot of FUD build up around that. But I think that we'll come down, test this, and go into a V bottom sort of thing where we kind of have something like, we have this massive, capitulation drop. So something like this, followed by, a very quick impulsive move to the upside. And we'll probably get all the way up to like this 786 before kind of collapsing a little bit. And when I say collapsing, we'll probably see, a retest of the 702. So something kind of like this before, of course, we continue higher and retest the, all-time high. And I know that people are going to think that this is kind of crazy, that this is not going to happen, but this is going to take some time. But I do expect this to actually happen, especially as the Fed is continuously, really kind of talking about like, outpacing their, rate hike increases, which is like 0.5. We'll probably see like 0.75, and, the markets will react crazy going forward in terms of like Wednesday, which will probably push this down. And then this will probably have, a ton of buy volume behind it, which would push this higher. And the US dollar itself will most likely do a 180 turnaround and start dropping as risk on assets get a lot more focus on them. Also, a few altcoins that I am watching for is, for an example, XRP. I'm definitely watching XRP. I'm watching a few levels. I have been watching this like 22-cent zone to like roughly like the 27-cent zone. That's my buy range, and I, of course, will outline this on the chart real quick just so that you guys do know where I'm buying. Of course, you guys do not need to buy where I buy at all. You can buy whenever you want. I'm not trying to give you guys financial advice or anything like that, but this is the level that I am buying in terms of a major demand area. On XLM, I do have my demand zone still left on this chart between the 8 to 8.5 cent zone. I'm hoping that it gets targeted. It might actually not, but this is one that hasn't been really kind of oversold. I'm actually waiting for this to actually, drop a little bit more. Hbar. Just talked about Hedera earlier today. I'm waiting for us to actually hit this 5-cent zone. Hopefully it does get targeted. I will actually even buy at 5.5 cents if I have to. And then last but not least, Solana. And I know that a lot of people are going to think that I'm crazy for buying Solana. I actually think that this has a ton of upside potential. I'm waiting for $25, but I'm actually really hoping for around like the $15 range. I do believe that Bitcoin dominance will most likely increase a little bit and trade sideways around this range in a little bit of a chop zone as altcoins kind of fall a little bit more. I'm actually hoping for us to, and by the way, I did kind of outline us kind of going to around like the 47% zone on Bitcoin dominance for a while. I'm really kind of hoping that we do kind of continue up a little bit on Bitcoin dominance just to have that nice push down on alts. It might not happen, but I'm definitely looking to average into some heavy positions around this level. So with that being said, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, definitely leave a like, subscribe, to notifications on if you guys want more free content. You guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord down in the description below. As it's up to you all, have a beautiful day or beautiful night wherever you guys are in this beautiful world. This has been Nick. Peace out, guys.